case I butchered it.
Yeah. So I am Jada Davis. I'm 24 years old. I like to think that I'm 22 because, COVID happened.
Hello.
Uh, and I'm in law school at Marquette. This is my third year. So I'm almost out of there. Next spring, I'll be graduating. And I'm really interested in entertainment and family law. So
Okay.
I want to do work with contracts and hopefully do some divorce work, like celebrity divorce. So LA might be calling my name one day. Who knows?
Hey, who knows?
I'm also a dancer, so got some exciting stuff coming up as far as my dance career goes. Can't say much right now, but very exciting stuff. And what else do I do? Oh, I have a business called Modern Movement Apparel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you follow us on Instagram at modern_MVMT. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I do. That's
And
who I
is
am.
your official title Miss Milwaukee?
Yes, Miss
Okay.
Milwaukee 2022.
2022 and the first black.
Yes, first
That
black.
is, well, number one, it's amazing to be the first black anything. It like it halfway makes me sad that there's still a first black anything. But then on the other hand, I'm very proud of you.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, yay, look at you. Changing the narrative. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
you said a mouthful. You have a lot going on. And you also mentioned that you just came back from Cancun. Was it
Yes.
Cancun? You
Yes,
said
Cancun,
Mexico.
Mexico.
Okay. Okay. So to get started, can you tell us what it means to be Miss Milwaukee?
It truly means a lot to me. I think this was the first time that I truly stepped out of my comfort zone and tried something completely off brand, something that I've never done before, and it was just a risk. And so for me personally, it's a representation of when you take risk, you never know what can happen and where that risk may take you and how it might change the trajectory of what you're doing with your life. And so I'm really grateful for what the program does. The Miss Milwaukee and Miss America organizations are the biggest provider of scholarships for women in the
Oh,
nation. And
okay.
so
Look, everybody about to let me Google.
yeah, so go ahead, get you a
Let me get on
scholarship,
this.
and originally, I was just doing it, like I said, to try something new, and, there was a talent portion, so I'm a
Okay.
dancer, so I'm like, "Okay, I'll do a little dance, whatever. There's a chance to win some
She's an
money."
awesome. She said, "I'm gonna do just a little
Just
dance.
a
Just give
little
them a little." So
dance.
you are a phenomenal dancer. I've seen
Thank
you
you.
several times. Phenomenal dancer.
But yeah, so it just means a lot to especially in your own city, like, I'm from Milwaukee,
Yes.
born and raised, to be able to be someone that can inspire other young women in the city
Listen,
that I grew up in is truly, like, the impact that I always wanted to have.
that's awesome. So, how did you get into it? Like, how were you even introduced to pageantry?
Um, the very first time I ever saw or watched a pageant was Miss America 2019
Okay.
when Nia Imani Franklin won. And that's only because my friend invited me over to watch the Miss America competition. And from there, I was like, okay, she also did a competition. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like, go
Your friend
you.
did.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
For Miss Green Bay area.
Oh,
And
cool.
so I
Okay.
helped her with that journey. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is cool, whatever. So I kind of forgot about it. And a couple years later, I was reached out to from the Miss West Alice team. And they just asked me to come. They found my social media and just asked me to come to their meeting and see what they were all about. So
Okay.
I said, okay, I'll
They were
come.
seeking you out, honey.
Yeah, yeah, social media is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to the meeting and originally I was like, okay, I don't have time for this, but this was cool to learn more about the program,
Yeah.
whatever.
What is the time commitment?
For competing, it really wasn't too strenuous, but as somebody who likes to do things right and be great at them, and especially because this was completely new, I wanted to make sure that I was, crossing all my T's, dotting my I's, coming in correct. Because all of these other girls have been doing this since they were, toddlers. So basically just preparing for each of the competition categories and yeah, I had a coach who was introduced to me for after the Miss West Dallas program, but
Hmm.
before that, it was really just me.
Do you have to have a coach? Is that like part of it?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
Fortunately, I had a friend who had did a pageant before, and she knew it really well. a really good coach.
Well, this coach must have a phenomenal track record, honey.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Cindy! Shout out to Cindy,
Oh,
all
shout
the
out to
way in
Cindy.
Texas.
Yes. Oh,
Cindy is
wow. In Texas.
amazing. Yeah, we did everything virtually.
Wow.
I met her 2 or 3 times in
Wow.
person.
Okay.
So interview prep, picking out my gowns, watching my
Come on,
talent
Cindy.
videos. Cindy was the person that helped me do
Wow.
everything. So shout out to her.
Okay. Yes, Miss Cindy.
Listen.
Go ahead
Yes.
and get everybody
Oh,
together.
we were wondering if you know
Oh yeah. Do you know Jackie?
Miss
Jackie
Wisconsin?
No.
Edwards.
Yes,
Yes.
Jackie Edwards.
Yes, of
Yes.
course.
Yes.
Hey, Jackie
Yes.
Yes,
girl.
Herstory.
Yes. She was on our
Um,
show as well.
she
Oh,
was.
Yes.
yes. I love
Absolutely.
Jackie.
Yeah, she's
That's
great. She's
awesome.
great. And it makes me think, and Jada, if you can tell everybody, like, what's the maybe the chronological order between the steps? Because I was reading about something. So this is Miss Milwaukee the step to like Miss Wisconsin and then Miss the
Yeah.
next one.
So Miss Milwaukee is a local preliminary to the Miss Wisconsin state competition, and whoever wins the state competition goes on to compete at Miss America.
Wow, wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Is that the goal?
Well, I did the state competition back in June.
Okay.
I placed top 11 and I won People's Choice, so I got a scholarship for that as well.
Okay.
Burr, burr, burr,
Yes, brr, 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 brr. Let's go scholarship
burr.
money.
Yes.
For my
Okay.
first time, I'm like, I'm perfectly fine with how I
Oh,
did and all of this.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, yeah, definitely was an experience and I enjoyed it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is so
Wow.
amazing.
That is.
It's so great having both you and Jackie come to tell us about this because honestly, when I was younger, in my mind, pageants and all of that. So I did Miss Black and Gold so Chanel and I were roommates at Marquette.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
Marquette.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Look. Go Eagles.
Right. Go Eagles. Yes.
Yeah, go Eagles or whatever. Or whatever. Shouts out to Marquette. But in my mind, so I did, like Miss Black and Gold, stuff like that that was more like tailored towards black demographics, right? It was
Mhm.
put on by the fraternity Alpha Phi Alpha
Yeah.
Fraternity Incorporated. So in my mind, pageants and all of that is all like white girls.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously
is.
because you're the first Black Miss Milwaukee,
Yeah.
right? So clearly that makes sense. So I'm glad to have someone like you and someone like Jackie be able to educate us on it and to inform us about what the benefits are, what the work is like, because obviously you're breaking barriers for more Black women to come behind you
Yeah.
to even know that this is even an opportunity for them, because if not, they would just say, oh, that's not for me, like I did.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
I
you
think
see these things, but
representation.
you're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
not for me, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know?
Yeah. And you were gonna say representation
Oh, yeah.
matters, absolutely, and
Definitely.
it does. And I love what you said too about like I'm from Milwaukee, like born and raised, and Jackie is as well. So I think that's also a great stepping stone for little Black girls to be like, okay, well I can do that too. Like I'm from Burleigh or I'm from North Avenue or wherever they may live to make it real in their eyes that I can do this as well. So I really love that. Like I think that that's super dope that you all are brown girls from the city that is doing something that says that pretty much encompasses like being beautiful and being smart and having talent. Like I
Yes.
think that
Yeah.
that says
I'm
a
going to
lot.
emphasize the being beautiful because the standard of beauty is so European.
Yeah.
Right. So I love that you were able to be like, girl, I'm fine, honey.
Yeah.
I'm smart. I'm kind.
Okay.
I'm important.
I'm important. All of it.
And by the way, I can dance.
And talented.
It's
I love
important to
that.
celebrate like Black women for being all of those things,
Yeah.
and we're not recognized as much as we should be for all of our different talents and our
Yes.
education, X, Y, and Z that we do. It just goes under the radar. So definitely.
Mhm.
How many Black people competed? Were you the only one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So with the Miss Milwaukee, so yeah.
Wow.
So then with when you did Miss Wisconsin, how many Black women were in that one? So that I'm assuming was larger with all the states
Yeah.
being.
With all the
So that
cities,
was
right?
the other locals. There were
Oh,
about 22 of us
gotcha.
Out of
competing
how many?
out of
So wait, there's 22 that competed, but how many were Black for Miss Wisconsin?
I was the only visibly Black person. There
Right.
was one other young lady who I believe is biracial.
Okay.
Got it.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Mhm.
That is so
And it just makes me
Interesting.
wonder, is it because of just you don't know what you don't know? Like, if I don't see the representation, like you said, then
Right.
I'm not going to even try to do it.
Here's why I think it's so interesting, right? Even though I just said that. Here's why I'm having a complex in my head is because in Milwaukee, in
Mhm.
Milwaukee County,
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's where most of the black people in
Yeah.
Wisconsin are.
Yeah.
Now it's still a minority,
Still,
still a
but
minority, but that's where most of the. So if you're gonna do it, you would think like, okay, Green Bay finally like y'all ain't gonna. There's probably not gonna be black people here, but there are. If there is gonna be somebody, they're gonna compete for Milwaukee. That's
yeah.
if they're black,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So wow.
Yeah.
So then what? How did you feel? Did you feel like you could win? Knowing that there was never a black Miss Milwaukee and understanding that you were the only one there?
For the I'll say for the local, I had no idea that A, I was the only black woman, and B, that I would be the first black woman to win. So I
Wow.
had no idea
Ignorance is
about the
bliss
history.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
God for the ignorance.
I
Okay.
honestly I wasn't even planning on competing for Miss Milwaukee. I did Miss West Dallas, and then there was no Miss Milwaukee competition until like 2 weeks later. They announced that they're gonna have one. So I said, okay, everything's ready. I may as well.
Mhm.
So I did that. And then at the state competition, I did know that I would probably be the only black woman going.
Mm.
But yeah, I didn't know about winning necessarily. I was just going to prove to myself that I could make top 10 and that I could feel confident and well in everything that I was doing. And I wasn't going to look like, the girl that just entered the pageant scene.
Mhm.
Right,
So
right,
that was
right.
my goal for myself. I don't think my goal was ever to win. There's a lot that comes with everything, as everybody knows. So I think for my personal life, it was better for me not to, but
Mhm.
I definitely strive to do my best. And my goal was top 10, maybe top 5. I didn't make top 5, but definitely top 10 was my goal.
Oh
Okay.
wow. So where was this like located? Like, is it like video of this? Like, cause I feel like I live in Milwaukee. Well, I don't technically live in Milwaukee, but whatever. I'm Milwaukee, but I didn't know anything about this until I met you. And I think Lakita like posted you, and I saw, and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, like wow, like this is so interesting and so cool. And then I saw you at Brownsville, and I was like, yeah, I need to talk to you because this is so cool. So where did this event like even take place?
It was in Oshkosh. The state competition was in Oshkosh. We were up there for about a week, and it was recorded. Every preliminary was live. They
Mm.
had a live stream that you had to pay for. Um, but the Miss Milwaukee competition was virtual, and that was private.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But usually, like the locals, people can come, and they're public.
Okay. Awesome.
That is so
And the
cool.
term is for 1 year? Like you
Yes.
get to hold the title for 1 year?
Hmm.
Oh, cool. Okay. So when is like the next one?
It'll be in mid-March.
Are you about to answer?
Oh
No.
no. Not me. They would be like, girl.
I'm sorry. You said it's in mid-March.
Yep, it'll be in mid-March, and let me just plug, if there's anyone who may be interested in competing and learning more about Miss Milwaukee, we have a phone number that you can text. Is 715-665-5552.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Yes. Go and text that number,
Yes, and
y'all.
it's great that you have the ability to expose black women to this. What are the age restrictions? Because I'm assuming that we are too old, honey.
Yeah, they gonna be
They're
like,
gonna be like, "Bitch,
man,
scholarship for what?"
right? Like, I need a scholarship for
For the
life.
student loans.
Oh,
I need them
real.
to clear my student loan debt. Do
Okay.
they have one for that?
So for the Miss system, there you have to be 26, so 18
Dang.
to 26.
Like we just missed
Right.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
slightly missed it.
Teenagers are under 18. They just changed some of the rules, so there's some like 19-year-olds, and then it's really 18. I don't know the bottom minimum age. Um, but yeah, there's also like a Mrs. system that's different from our organization, but for married women or women that are older than 26. So there's organizations out there that are still for different age brackets of women.
Yeah.
What are the requirements? And I'm asking because at one point I was reading something where it kind of talked about um, discrimination, right? Where it
Mhm.
talked about like you had to be a certain age, but you couldn't like have children out of wedlock. You had to be unmarried. Like you had to meet all these different requirements.
I'm not exactly sure about those requirements. I do recall, like in the past, there were some racial restrictions for Miss America. So just like there's a new Miss Texas, and she's an Asian American, and like she was pointing out the fact that we as women of color are able to even compete in this organization when at a certain time that wasn't even an option for us, and not too long ago. Um, but there other eligibility requirements are like living and working in the place where you're competing, being enrolled in school, the age requirements, pursuing an education, stuff like that, but no other discrimination things.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Thank
that's
God.
good. That's definitely
That's really
good
awesome.
to know. We're actually we're a minute away from our very first break, so I don't want to go into another deep topic. But I would like to quick know, like, what is your support system? You gave Granny a shout out before, but how does your family support you in this?
Yeah, I have an amazing support system, which I'm super grateful for. A lot of people don't have. My mom, my dad, grandma, my mentor Lakita, all of those like connected with them that still support me. People that don't know me, that know my parents, that support
Oh,
me.
that's
So just like all my family and friends. Shout out to Zoe and Anna and Liz. Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
Yeah, just I have a really nice support team. So yeah,
That's awesome.
that helps.
Oh,
That's
yay!
awesome.
Yes. Shout out to the support, because I'm sure this is a lot, and you need that
Definitely,
support with
yeah.
all your juggling.
Yeah.
But
Especially when you're gonna make history, honey.
okay, right, in the history books, I love that. But thank you for listening to Brunch with Besties show. We are gonna go into our first commercial break, and we will be right back. Listening to Brunch with Besties show. We are gonna go into our first commercial.
Yo, what's up? This is Rix.
Yo, this is Rennie.
What up, Dover in the building?
What's good, family? This is Jesse, and this is
Brown Wealth Radio. And make sure to catch us on TGN Latinx every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific.
To be specific.
Birthdays are meant for celebration, and when it comes to celebrating, Flour and Sugar never misses a beat. Offering custom cake designs to fit any special occasion, your cake will be the talk around town. From sushi cakes to perfume bottles, everything is always edible. With flavors like Oreo, banana pudding, and our top flavor, strawberry shortcake, I can't miss. Order your special cake today by email at flourandsugarla@gmail.com or visit our website at flourandsugar.store. Or if you want to see new design, follow us on Instagram at _flour_and_sugar_.
Yo, this is Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked. And even though they extras hell, check out Never Not Extra on TGN Network.
That's right.
Y'all gotta have notes, cue cards, teleprompter.
Hey, Jackie, what's wrong?
I'm over here running around trying to tell everybody about the Podcast Pit.
What's the Podcast Pit?
I'm glad you asked. The Podcast Pit is an event where you will find some of your favorite podcasts performing in front of a live audience.
Will there be food and drinks there?
Of course there will be. It's at Joxer Dailies in Culver City. They have a full bar and a full menu.
Hey, I may need to tell people about this as well.
Yes, come with me. Let's tell them. The Podcast Pit is coming.
The Podcast Pit is coming. Hey, what's up, business owners? Are you looking to take your business a step forward? Are you looking for more people to know what you have to offer? You are in luck. The Good News Radio has a special deal for you right now. You can get a commercial slot 4 times a day, every day for a month. If you are interested, email contact@tgnradio.net for more information.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Alex Himes from Courtside Radio. We'd love to have you tuning in every Monday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. right here on the Good News Radio Network. Don't forget to tune in every week, people. We'll see you then.
Are you happy with your life, money, career, or relationships? Most people are frustrated with how life is evolving around them. What if you could change one thing to turn your life into a different direction? Would you want the insight? How could you transform your life with intuitive awareness? Learn more Get answers today. Book a free discovery session with Coach Zena, intuitive transformational practitioner. Go to www.coachzena.com or follow on Instagram, coach.askzena.
Hey, heathens and hoes. It is the baddest bitch on the block.
Welcome back to Brunch with
That
Bestie show.
commercial.
That last commercial is hilarious.
Hilarious. Shout out to the Get Right.
Shouts out to only
Only
the Get Right would do that. But in any case, welcome back to Brunch with Besties. I'm Sherry Renee.
And I'm Chanel.
We are here with Jada Davis, the first Black Miss Milwaukee. And when we left off, we were talking about your support system. But I want to talk about dance. So that was your talent. How did you get into dance? How did you discover dance? And what does dancing do for you?
So my mom put me into dance at the age of 3.
Oh,
So I
wow.
started at Milwaukee Ballet, and then I went to City Ballet Theater, where I got most of my training. And then I went to Tonkothi African Dance Ensemble.
Okay.
Nice.
Woo woo, shout out to
Okay.
Kothi.
Yes.
I've been to a lot of studios. And then I switched to Academy of Dance Arts, where I started doing competitive dance. And I did competitive hip hop, modern. I also did tap and jazz there.
So you do all types of dance.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ballet,
genres.
Kothi, hip hop.
Yes.
Okay.
I love it. Multifaceted.
Yeah.
She
And
said she's
then-
not gonna box me.
Okay.
And then I went to college, and I was on our dance team there at Green Bay, which was competitive pom and jazz. So that was my first time ever doing pom dance. But we got through that, and once I started, it was like, any other form of dance. You have to just try it and learn it to be good at it. So yeah, that's been the different spots I've been at with dance. And just for me, dance is like the only thing, I wouldn't say the only thing, but it's one of the things that's been consistent in my life and that's stuck with me and that helps me to express myself, and not only express myself, but to tell stories for other people through my movement too.
Yeah.
So.
I love that. I love it. So then that makes me also wonder, how do you balance it all? That seems like a lot of things. You're holding the title of Miss Milwaukee currently. You're in law school at Marquette, which I'm sure is very competitive and elite. You dance. So how do you balance, and what does time management look like for you?
Yeah, everybody asks this question, and every time I'm like, I don't know, it just happens.
Just make it work.
Yeah. And I think when everything's aligned for a purpose, it all just works out anyways. But I never take on more than I think I'm able to do. And just making sure that you have your schedule, you're not overlapping things, you got time to rest, time to eat. Eating is sometimes a struggle, figuring out times when to do everything. But I like to follow a regimen and a set schedule. Everything's on a calendar, an alert written down in the phone calendar, everywhere. So that's just how I keep track of everything, and it all just works out.
Nice.
Shouts out to the calendar.
Yes.
Listen.
Thank God for the calendar
Thank
and
God.
the alerts and the reminders.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you, Lord, for the.
No, but I always love that question, because as you get older, you look back and you look at all the stuff that you did. And you're like, I don't even know how I did all. I can't. It is 9 o'clock and I'm in bed. I don't understand how I even had the stamina to do half the things.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that could totally be a lot, but you definitely are doing it with grace. And also, so what's a day? So for those who don't know, especially me, just give us a typical day for Miss Milwaukee. What does Miss Milwaukee have to do in a day?
Whatever's on the schedule, it fluctuates so much. So during the summer, there's certain things that are going on, parades and festivals and things to go to.
Yeah, you were outside this summer,
it was
everywhere.
fun, though.
Okay.
But majority of the time, as far as me personally, it's just wake up, I go to school. I'll probably make a couple of posts for Miss Milwaukee, planning for different events that I want to host and things coming up like that. Just reading emails, a lot of emails and communication about things coming up and people that want you to be part of things, and sending contracts back and forth. So just stuff like that. Other than that, I'm a student first, so everything revolves around that. I'll reflect back on when I won the title, and there was this surge of like media and press interviews that I had to do. And so balancing that, it was waking up at 5 or 6 in the morning, doing an interview at 7, going to class, using my lunch break to go to this news station and do an interview, and then going back to class. So now that that's over, it's more mellow and I can focus a little more on school. But yeah.
Did you ever come to class in your crown? Like,
No.
I'm sorry, I just left.
The makeup was embarrassing enough. I
Really?
coming to class in like full makeup when people are
In a
wearing
gown? I'm just playing.
shorts and t-shirts.
Listen.
Well, not embarrassing, but you're just a little out of place.
A little out of place.
Yeah.
Just a 10.
Just the queen in class.
Okay. I love that.
Queen in class.
That should be
I
on the
love
shirt.
it.
Yes.
Just a queen in
Just
class.
a queen
You
in
know.
class. I love that.
Listen.
Especially in the Marquette class. 'Cause
Yes.
we know. So, yeah.
How do we ever?
I love it. That's what's up. So are those also like the requirements of Miss Milwaukee? Like you have to post like a whatever. Like what's the platform for Miss Milwaukee? Like what platforms do you support?
So my personal platform is called What's Wrong with Being Confident.
Okay.
And it's
Oh.
about empowering and inspiring confidence in other women, especially in our city, and especially other women of color.
Okay.
And I just think that part of my journey has been so much of me growing in confidence over the years. And I like to share with people, like, you don't always start where you finish, or where you see me is not where I started. So, like, I like to share my journey of how I built my confidence and how others have helped me to do that. And then I like to have workshops and different events where other people can come and learn the ways that they can build their confidence. Because if you don't know how to do those sort of things, you sort of like continue to live in your shell. And my goal is just to help people to break out of their shell, because that's where success and change and opportunity comes from.
I love that.
So where did you start? Because one of the things that you said is that you did it because you wanted to take a risk, and this was just kind of where things landed, thank God, right?
Mhm.
But where did your confidence level start, and what did you do to boost your confidence?
Yeah, so naturally, I'm a super reserved person, and I'll reflect back on like middle school days where like I didn't talk to anyone. I was the kid that sat in the guidance counselor's room like for lunch crying, or like just eating lunch by myself and things like that. I didn't know where I fit in, and I would try to change myself to fit in sometimes. And that's because I wasn't confident in who I was, and I didn't know what I stood for and that sort of thing. So even in high school, I had like 4 different friend groups, and I'm like, I'm with this group, and I'm in drama club, and I want to do track, and da 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 da. And I just didn't know, I wasn't confident in who I was. And so I would say the first shift for me was joining high school theater and drama club.
What high school did you go to?
Homestead.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That's
Not
my
too
neck
far
of
away.
woods. Yeah.
And so for me, theater allowed me to break out of my shell. Like I
Yeah.
never really done theater before. Another thing that I had never really done. And my choir teacher was like, "Hey, try out for a musical." And I'm like, "Okay, I dance. I'll
Yeah,
do
I can do
that."
that.
Yeah. So then I joined choir, and then from there I was in 4 or 5 musicals, and that was my first step in really being confident in something that, I'm a dancer, so I need to be confident in my skills. And really, my senior year of high school, I challenged myself to do the talent show. I'd never done a solo dance by myself.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make myself do it, because it's time to break out of this little shell. So I did that, and then from there, it's like just to see where I've come from just with dance, going from there, like I've challenged myself to also do the talent show going into college. So, the freshman orientation stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this solo. And then from there, I started doing competitive solos on the dance team. And now all I do is solo dances. So just to see
Yes.
that confidence journey is
Yes.
like
Yeah.
crazy. But it took that initial step, and that's what I want to
Yeah.
help people to do, is take that initial step in your confidence journey.
It's so funny how one thing leads to something else that leads to something else that got you to where you are now. Because if you would have never said like, okay, I never dance solo, I'm gonna dance solo, we may not even know who you are, right? Because we saw you dance solo.
Yeah, because that's all I do now.
Right?
It's crazy.
Yeah. That is so
Yeah.
amazing.
And it's good to look back and see the progress that you've
And
made.
I'm also like, Marquette had a dance.
Right. Like
So what I remember about Marquette, day one, like orientation, all of that was like a square dance. Did they?
Well, Jada went to Green Bay. She went to Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like,
okay, I'm like, I don't remember.
well,
But Marquette does have a
Marquette
dance
people, if
team.
you're listening, I mean, freshman orientation week, y'all need to have a talent show, not that square dance.
Because I'm like, well, hell, I would have been more involved.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Well, that was like
something.
15. How long
Listen,
ago was
don't
college?
don't
That
bring
was a long
up how
time
long
ago.
ago college
They
was.
probably changed the
It
whole
don't
thing.
matter.
I'm just saying.
It's irrelevant.
They probably like, girl, we ain't did that square dance in years, y'all.
No, but that's so amazing though how that one thing. So confidence has been sort of your like mission statement.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of the workshops that you do. Like, what are some of the exercises that you take the girls through?
Yeah, so I like to center on journaling and self-reflection. I do a lot of journaling myself. I'm coming out with a journal pretty
Nice.
soon.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And what I do is I start with self-reflection. So I'll ask a bunch of questions. What are some things you like to change about yourself? What makes you feel good? Who inspires you? Different things, different levels of questions to get people thinking about areas that they want to improve on, characteristics about themselves that they like and don't like, and why they don't like things about themselves, how they want to be perceived by the public, and why, and digging deeper into that. But starting with that self-reflection, writing out, and then I like to pair and share. A lot of people aren't comfortable jumping in right away to a big group, so pairing with an individual next to you to open up the floor, and then we open it up to a larger group discussion where people can then share, like, okay, I struggle with, say, body dysmorphia. Oh, I used to struggle with that too, and that really weighed on my confidence. This is my story and how I overcame that. And now we're sharing and we're talking about how we can help each other. So just creating that space is my goal.
Wow. I love that. And what's the age ranges for the workshops and things like that? Because I'm spinning. I'm like, how can I get you at Malika? Like, what are we gonna do?
She's like,
to
you
get
have
you
anything
here?
for 3 to 5?
Seriously.
Yeah, so I work with kids a lot actually. But it depends on, what the environment is. So if I'm hosting a workshop, it's open to all ages.
Nice.
I've had a workshop where I had a 10-year-old up into a 7-year-old, so in the same room. But if I go into schools, it's the grade that I'm working with. They're 7th to 8th graders, or K5 through 2nd grade, things like that, chunks like that. Groups of individuals around the same age usually works better.
Sure.
Yeah. That's interesting though that you mentioned Malika, because it's, at first I'm kind of like laughing at it because they're so young, but that's where it starts.
That is where it starts for sure.
Because I have 2 nieces that have red hair, black girls with red hair, and the youngest one is 5 and she hates it because it doesn't look like everybody else's. And if you call her hair red, even you could give her a compliment, like, oh, I just love your beautiful red. Don't say that, TT. Don't call my hair red. Like, she doesn't like it because it's different. And I would imagine with you going to, did you say Green Bay? And Marquette, and being the first Black Miss Milwaukee, you certainly are different, right? In each of those groups, Homestead, right?
Homestead, Lakeshore.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, did you go to the middle school? Because this is so cyber. I'm sorry, Sherry Renee, but my son goes to the middle school Mequon too right now, and girl, he's the only black. He was only black boy in 7th grade last year. He's the only black boy in 8th grade this year. So I'm just like, here we go again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's how it was for me. I went middle school, high school, and college, all PWIs, and just being the only, I think that weighed a lot on my confidence too. And why I was, sitting in the guidance counselor's room, because I felt different and I felt like not an outcast necessarily. Nobody was making me feel that way. It's just how the circumstances are. That's how you feel.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but then also being a young lady, and I think this is gonna go back to what you were just saying about niece and her hair. It's like being a girl, we have so many things that we have to worry about in the larger society picture, like what our skin looks like, what our teeth looks like, what our body looks like, what our hair looks like. It's so much that we have to think about. And not to say that my son doesn't have issues, but I think for him, like it's been not easier, but he's a boy, so he can kind of fit in with the other groups and he's fine. But as a Black girl, it's like, okay, well, I don't look like them, or my hair is not like theirs, or I don't dress like them. Like this doesn't fit my body the way you get so many things. I even remember being in middle school thinking those things, and I went to Webster, and that was bliggity black. So, but just being around other Black girls and it's just like, okay, well, I'm different. Like I'm skinny, like I whatever, like I have this baby face, and some of the other girls, like they looked grown, like look like grown-ups, and I look like a little kid. So it's like, where do I fit in? So I could totally understand that, and I feel like little girls need that type of guidance, like tell me before I have to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
So that's good that you have this confidence building initiative and platform, because I think a lot of our girls need it. And even at my school, like our highest grade is 3rd grade, but last school year we had a lot of little girls that were just like, I'm ugly, like I don't love myself, like this is what they're telling themselves. So I would have to pull them in my office like, no, you're beautiful. Like I'm in my office combing girls hair, and I'm like, look, I got a son, I don't even know how to do this.
I was gonna say, how did the hair turn out, honey?
Listen, I should put a little water on and got their curls popping. Mostly
Their mama was like, who did your hair? What white lady did your hair?
Yes. Who did your hair, girl? But I was trying, because they was like really struggling, like our girls were last year, and it was just like, wow, like even at this young age, like what, you're like 8, 7, 8, and you're already having these thoughts of like, I don't even love myself. So that's huge. Yeah.
I think a lot of what my workshops center on too is speaking positively about yourself. So we
Yes.
do what I call a Monet moment, and Monet is my middle name, and because it's in the middle, I use it as a reminder to like center myself and remind myself of who I am and how confident I am, and I do that before I go into any space where I may feel intimidated. And so we take a Monet moment, and I remind people like, you are smart, you are confident, you blah blah blah, all the affirmations. And just, you don't hear that if you don't say it to yourself. So it's important that you remind yourself of those things. Otherwise, the only thing that you hear all the time is the things that you tell yourself. So be sure to fill it with positivity.
That part.
And I know it sounds simple, but it's such a big impact, because we read in one of these books. We read a lot of books on this podcast, child. But so in one of the books, it said that you believe your own voice more than you'll believe somebody else's. So if you constantly tell yourself, I'm ugly, I'm bad, I'm all these negative, if you give yourself all these negative attributes, then when you come in, if I come to your workshop and then you have me say, oh, I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I'm whatever, it's like a reminder that that has to be the narrative in your mind, right? Because all day we're talking to ourselves. So if we see somebody else like, oh, I don't look like her, okay, well, maybe you're not supposed to, right?
Yes.
Or, oh, I'm the only Black person in this class, right? It's like, great.
Yeah.
Okay, let me shine.
We'll show up
Listen,
then.
okay.
Right? Shine bright,
Let me shine.
But
here.
it's all about how you perceive it.
That's good.
It's all about how you perceive it. So wow.
I love it. That is
Digging
good.
the confidence platform.
Yeah, that's
much
great.
needed. Breaks my heart to hear about the young girls, but not surprising considering the things that my niece says, right?
Yeah.
And
she's
even,
5.
And she's 5, and even her body, I'm like, girl, you're a baby, okay?
5. That's crazy.
Right. But when she's around grown women, right,
Yeah.
with shapes, and she's like, well, where's mine? You're not supposed to have this.
Yes, not yet. Like,
please
enjoy.
Lord.
Yes, enjoy not having all of this. Because, girl, my back hurt now.
Right. I can't control my weight. Okay, so you calm down.
Oh my gosh!
But
just wait.
Wow. So then, what would be a time where you felt the least confident, and then what did you do to boost your confidence?
That's a good question.
I distinctly remember a time I was at my grandma's house actually. And this was like a really low moment for like self-esteem for me. And I don't know what it was, but I remember looking in the mirror and I was like, I'm ugly. And my grandma came in. Well, I was crying first. And she came in, she's just like started speaking to me like, you're pretty, like all of these like positive affirmations that I tell people now. And that was just like a reminder of who I am, and I have a support system, and I'm beautiful and all of that good stuff. So yeah, just that was probably the lowest moment that I can remember. But
How old were
yeah.
you at
Oh,
that
I
time?
was really young,
Yeah.
probably in middle school, 12,
Yeah.
13.
Middle school
Yeah.
is such a hard
Middle school
time.
is so hard.
It's the
Like,
What made you have that perception of yourself? Like, what drove you to be like, I'm ugly?
I'm not exactly sure. I think it could be a lot of what I was surrounded by, and just like you mentioned, not looking like everybody else and being different. You know, you start to look down on yourself because you're different, and just not seeing people, you know, that look like you.
yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Because I remember having those same thoughts in middle school, like, oh, I'm ugly, like I don't like the way I look. And I think for me, because I was a huge Disney fan. So like all the Disney movies were my jam. Like I had them all. Like I had all the Disney Barbie dolls and all that stuff. But subconsciously, like that plays a part. Like I'm seeing all of these figures that don't look anything like me. And they're beautiful. They have these big, beautiful, bright eyes and the long flowing hair and the small waist and the hips. And it's just like, well, I don't look like that. So I guess I'm ugly because I don't look
like
by
this.
default. By default, right. So yeah, I definitely had those thoughts in as I was younger. And it, to be honest with you, it took me until like 30s. Like 30s is when I really started to be like, girl, you bad out here. Like stop playing. Like and you're bad because you're like I'm me, and I'm not even comparing myself to anybody else, which is it took me until then to really get that I'm beautifully and uniquely made because I'm me.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, and it took 30 years for me to get that, and I'm glad that there are spaces that what you have with your confidence building, that it doesn't need to take that long for you to get it, that you're beautiful the way you are, you know.
Yeah, I agree. I think children by nature want to blend in, right? Like I want my hair like Sydney or whoever, right? It's like that's just what you want to do. And when you're in a space where all the kids have straight hair or all the kids are blonde or whatever, then it's like that's who you want to be. That's what you want to do. I saw this one, I don't know if it was a TikTok or what it was, but the girl was like, "Oh, I want my hair," but it was actually in the reverse. So I had so much appreciation for it. It was a little white girl who went to her mom and said, like, "Oh, I want my hair like," I forget the girl's name. Let's just say Chanel. And she was like, "Oh, well, Chanel has beautiful hair, but honey, your hair won't do that, right?"
Yeah.
And I thought that was so amazing because usually it's the other way around. Where a little brown girl, a little black girl is like, I want my hair like such and such. And it's like, your hair's not, I can't do that to your hair. Right. So, but I love the whole idea of just appreciating who you are, uniquely who you are, irrespective of who anybody else is. And the world is indirectly telling Black girls that they're ugly.
Yes.
You know, and even if that's not someone's intention, it's not with the lack of inclusivity, it by default suggests that. And so when you are out, and then you continue to see a certain type be glorified or glamorized, even when you look at old movies, just even colorism.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. Even just like the same, especially when you look at like movies in the 90s.
Yeah.
Lighter skinned women, they were glamorized.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Even the darker women there, they could be just as beautiful, but they wouldn't even do the same level of like makeup and clothes. It would just be like, you don't need any.
Yeah.
Because the focus is on her.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, look at an old video, an old music video.
Even,
You'll be like,
yeah.
what
Even
the heck?
watching like sitcoms, like Martin, for example, where the main girlfriend was lighter skinned and the like sidekicky friend was a brown
or they're
girl.
heavier weight or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
All the subliminals.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the subliminals.
all the
subliminals.
subs. Like you can't be the main person, but we gonna have you in the background.
You can be the help though.
Right. Oh, that part. Yeah. You can be the help.
You can be the help, honey.
You can be the comic relief, but that's it. Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's amazing that you even went for the title, right? That you even though you're saying like, oh, I didn't want to make this or make that, but you did.
You
know,
did it,
You
yeah.
did. You still went for it and you still did it. And I think that it does mean a lot to little girls to be able to see that, because usually whoever holds the title, it implies so many things. It implies your beauty.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, honey, do you see my crown?
Okay.
Have you read the
Yes.
sash?
Yes.
It's here. Like, you can probably even go out and not be done up, and it's like, but I'm still Miss Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's amazing. Like little girls, when I go into schools and things like that, are like, "You're so pretty," and I'm like, "You're so pretty," and I make sure I like consciously remind them of that too, because like you can be me like one day.
Yeah. And I love that too, because I think a lot of times we don't tell our girls that they're pretty.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm so grateful that your grandmother caught you in that moment and was like, hold on, we're going to put an end to this.
Yeah.
You're going to have a new perspective looking at this mirror.
Mhm.
Because I feel like if no one tells you, then you don't know.
Yeah.
And sometimes the absence of words implies
That.
something else.
Yeah. The default.
And you
Yeah.
get the default. So I'm glad that you're there. And then too, for you to have the title and then give them the affirmation. They're like, well, hell, maybe I am.
Yeah.
Maybe I am pretty.
I love it, girl. I'm so excited for you to come to my school. They're gonna be like,
Chanel
"Oh,
has
you're a
already booked you. You don't
princess."
even know.
Yes.
You don't even know if you
I'm
can make
like,
it. You don't know if you can actually
listen.
come.
I'm a listen.
She
We
has
gonna
put-
get you on the
it's on your
calendar.
calendar.
Listen, I'm gonna see your calendar invite.
I'm so excited for you to. She hasn't even said yes, by the way.
Hey, I'm like,
Let's talk about consent.
okay. Our kids are gonna like be so stoked. Like they're just be like, "Wow, you're a princess," because they're little. Like they're gonna be like, "This is so cool." So, I love it.
Little kids are the best.
Yes, yes.
But it also means a lot for little white girls
Yeah.
to see you too.
That's good.
You know, to be like, oh, she's pretty. Yes. Tell your black friends they're beautiful.
Okay, at that part.
Yeah.
Tell your black friends
for
they're
real.
beautiful. And beauty comes in different shades. So there's not a standard of what beauty is. Beauty is
How do
everywhere.
you feel holding the title? Like, do you feel like you have to live up to a certain standard? Like, would you go out in sweats and still be like, I'm still Miss?
Oh yeah.
Hang on,
I do
Jada.
that.
Don't answer that
I do
because
that.
we're actually about to go to our next break.
it
And when
always
we
happens
come
like
back,
this.
you will answer this question. We will be right back on Brunch with Bestie Show. Thank you for listening. Next break,
It
and when
always
we
happens
come
like
back, are you single and ready to mingle? Well, you may not be, but now here's your chance to purchase an all-new 30-day journal, Single and Not Quite Ready to Mingle. A 30-day journal to make the most of your single season. It's by me, Chanel, co-host of Brunch with Bestie Show. You can purchase your journal right now on Amazon by typing in Single and Not Quite Ready to Mingle. Now is the time to do the work. I'm rooting for you. Go ahead and purchase your journal now. Single and Not Quite Ready to Mingle, a 30-day journal to make the most of your single season. Are you ready?
Hey, my name is Jasmine Sweets, and I'm so excited to be bringing you The Sweet Spot on TGN Vibes, Good Vibes, and R&B. Playing the old school, new school, and in between. I'm coming to you this summer. Stay tuned.
Are you trying to buy a home, car, or make other investments and being discriminated against because of your credit score? At credit909.com, our professionals can help you remove judgments, student loans, child support, medical bills, and other erroneous and negative items on your credit report. Call 800-752-9763 today for a free credit analysis and consultation, or text credit to 909-688-5461.
What's up, friends? It's IE and Friends. We're here at the Podcast Pit LA. It was so fun. We came to rep the IE. I think we did a pretty good job. So shout out to the Podcast Pit for having us. Shout out to TGN. You guys should definitely check them out. You should check me out, Saul V. Gomez.
Y'all can find me at I Know Caesar on IG. You can find me at airbear_IE on IG.
And you guys can find the podcast at IE and Friends on every social media network except for OnlyFans. That's coming soon. So stay tuned. So follow us and follow TGN Podcast Pit. Have a good day, guys.
Oye locos, this is Rennie with the Brown Skin Investors, helping communities of color learn more about financial literacy. Catch us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on TGN Latinx.
Sundays just got sweeter. The Hub Radio presents First Sundays Open Mic, hosted by Hub City Dre, DJ Gamma Ray, and the First Sundays Band. They're inviting all singers, rappers, comedians, and poets to show up and show out. Sign-ups begin at 6 p.m. Sunday's Open Mic will take place every first Sunday of the month. It's just $10 before 8 p.m. and $20 after, so arrive early. The address is 1135 East Compton Boulevard. That's 1135 East Compton Boulevard in Compton, California. For more information, follow them on IG at First Sundays Open Mic.
What's up? It's your girl Kirsten and Moni, and we are Never Not Extra. Be sure to check us out every Tuesday live at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, only on the Good News Radio app. And if you didn't know, now you know.
Hey, Jackie, what's wrong?
Welcome back to Brunch with Besties.
Hey, hey.
I am Sherry Renee.
And I'm Chanel.
We are here with Jada Davis, the first Black Miss Milwaukee.
Yes.
And I was just asking, do you ever feel any pressure to like uphold your title, or do you ever feel weighted by a certain responsibility? And then I threw in, like, are you comfortable just like going out in like sweats and still being like, girl, I'm still Miss Milwaukee?
Yeah. So one thing about me, I'm definitely going to still be comfortable and wear my sweats and my tennis shoes. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm a dancer, so I'm going to do that. But I always lived like to a standard and held myself to a standard. So it wasn't like a big shift where I'm like, okay, now I have to be this completely different person and walk around all haughty-taughty. Because I haven't been, not like that, but I've always held myself to a certain standard. I definitely think there's a pressure with the public now knowing who you are and just like being perceived at all times. There's definitely an extra pressure that comes along with that. But I try not to let negative comments and things like that like get to my head, and just keep being the person, the character that I had before I was Miss Milwaukee.
Yeah. Look, you like, before I was Miss Milwaukee, I was a dancer.
Okay. And I was Jada Davis, and I'm going to be
exactly
Jada Davis. Okay.
I can't think of the lady's name or what her title was, but she had a title and she ended up committing suicide. Y'all probably know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
I cannot think of her name either.
And she it was crazy because literally, was she a law student, or maybe she was already a lawyer?
She was a law student. She had won was it Miss USA?
I think so.
Yeah.
But so what ended up,
blanking on
it's
her
crazy because like I literally had just started following her on TikTok. Like I was like, oh, she seems nice, she's cool, let me follow her. And then like after that, people kept making videos about her saying like, oh, it's so sad what happened. And I was like, well, what happened? Right. And then I ended up watching an interview that her parents did on the Red Table Talk. And they were talking about how people would come in her comments being hecka rude and hecka disrespectful. And the girl was gorgeous. She was beautiful. I think she was older.
Yeah. So she was
older than
Miss
normal.
USA. So
Miss USA, yeah.
Chesley Chris
Yes.
was the former Miss USA.
Yes.
And how old was she?
She was 30.
She was 30, which is probably older than typical.
Yeah.
But do you ever face, because so you mentioned that sometimes the public or the media, kind of has a narrative for you. Do people ever come at you with those negative, with you being the first?
Yeah.
Do people ever come at you like, oh, you shouldn't be Miss Milwaukee? Oh, really?
Yeah. I have screenshots in my phone of like comments that I've read, and like,
oh my god,
sometimes I just like to look and just like be like, ha. But yeah, people commenting under articles that are written about me, like, I don't know why they picked her, and they should have picked
such and
X,
such,
Y, and Z,
yeah.
and why are we emphasizing that she's Black? And if she
because she's the first, honey.
What?
All of this
if
good
she were
stuff.
white, then
Yeah.
they wouldn't. Oh, okay.
And
That's
I'm just
funny.
like, okay.
Insane.
People are gonna say what they're gonna say. And you can't really read into that because people are people.
Yeah, but I think that further goes to emphasize your platform on confidence, because for every person that'll tell you that you're beautiful, you're gonna find 10 that'll tell you that you're not.
Yeah.
Right. And it always amazes me when people take the time to write stuff like that, because it's like if you don't like it, literally keep scrolling, like
Right.
literally,
Like, what
Right?
is wrong with you?
You don't
Just
even
live
have
your
you don't
life.
have to agree. You ain't gotta like.
No, you
You don't have
wasted
to
5 minutes of
align,
your life.
right? Like,
Nothing.
and then most of those people. So we had a couple young ladies on our show whose brothers were killed by the police,
Mhm.
right? Brown and black boys,
Mhm.
and people were they came in our comments saying all kinds of
Yes,
stuff.
it was insane.
It was
Wow.
insane.
That was insane.
And that was like the first time where I really like got a glimpse of what people with certain platforms have to go through. And that was before we shut down our page and started a new one. So we
Yeah.
had a way bigger following at that time. And I was just like, y'all could have did something else.
Yeah.
And then when I would block, they would literally create a new profile and put the same comment.
Yeah, and this was before like Instagram did that thing though, where if you block somebody and they created new content, like
Yeah.
it would just keep blocking them. So it was
Oh my
before
God.
that
Wow.
happened.
And I was like, I have to clean this up
Yeah.
before Bestie sees it, because she is going to respond.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go with people. I'm gonna go with you and then I'm gonna block you. Like I'm gonna say what I gotta say.
She gonna be
and
like,
then-
listen here, you.
Yeah.
And another thing. Yeah, and I was like, whoa, let me
Yeah.
clean this up. But I couldn't keep up with it because it was so fat. Like they just it was
Wow.
insane. So I think that just further emphasizes your platform, because the reality is a lot of these little girls, people are going to tell them
Yeah.
it won't even be indirect. It's going to be direct.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You don't deserve to be here, and you're a black student at Marquette Law. Right.
Mhm.
So why is she here? Why is she in this program?
How did she get here?
Is she only here to meet what's the word I'm looking
Quota?
for? The quota.
Mhm.
Yeah. A lot of people, and I face that like with law school every day. I have to remind myself that I deserve to be here and I have a purpose and I work to get here. And a lot of times people they say things like that, like, oh, you're just hitting a quota, or even like with things that I do outside of Miss Milwaukee, they're like, oh, she only is doing that because she's Miss Milwaukee. And I'm like, no, I actually worked for things that I have, and you don't know what I did years
You
before
actually
this.
don't know me.
Yeah.
Right. Believe it or not, you actually don't know me at all.
Actually,
so
right.
You don't know what I'm doing.
So,
Jeez.
yeah, it's just people have their own opinions and perceptions, and you have to have the confidence in yourself to overcome that and look past it.
Mhm.
That is so wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. What would you say? So we, of course, we have our purpose sign, and our mission here is to heal and help others as we heal and help ourselves through purpose-driven conversations. That's what we strive to do.
That's what we do.
What would you say your purpose is?
My purpose is to use my story to inspire others to lead more confident lives.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it. Just all in
And
there.
then when you think about the threads of your life, like dancing, because even dance, unless
Yeah.
it's hip hop, a lot, or I'll give you Kothi because you did.
Oh
mention
yeah,
Kothi,
African dance for
dance,
sure.
Yeah. But like ballet,
honey, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, is the mic picking up my loud blinks?
Listen. But it's
'Cause
so true. Like,
even
yeah.
dance. And so it makes sense that you articulated your purpose as such, because even before Miss Milwaukee, you literally had to come in each of the spaces of your life and find some level of confidence to be like, I know I'm the only black girl here.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna rock this. I'm gonna rock this black skin thing while I'm being a dancer. Like I'm gonna make this work for me. I'm even at Green Bay.
Yeah.
Even I have pictures from Milwaukee Ballet where it's me and a group of people that don't look like me, and it's like, what was I doing?
Yeah.
But and obviously at that age I couldn't articulate much, but going to Green Bay especially, I was the only black female on the dance team for all 4 years of college.
Wow.
And just the amount of there's different microaggressions that you have to deal with, and then there's the fact that you stand out, and the fact that you do certain things with your hair and they want you to wear your hair a certain way, and it's like, I got braids right now, I can't do that.
I ain't doing it. Don't work for me. That doesn't work.
Listen.
These braids staying in for at least.
Okay. Do you understand? You know how much I pay for these
Yes.
braids? This is a 3 to 6 month hairstyle now. Like, stop playing.
Literally. So just stuff like that, So
No, I
Wow.
listen. Wow. No, I get it, especially the microaggressions. I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
I was in an economics class at Marquette, 400 students. I was the
Mm.
only Black girl. And the professor would call on me every
Mm.
day because she could remember my name. She
Yeah.
had to pick up her chart if she wanted to call anybody else. And I remember this. So it kept me on. I had to read every night, make sure I knew what the heck was going on because I knew she was going to call on me.
Yeah.
And this one day she called on me back to back
Mm.
and I lost it. I was like, please reference your chart. You will not call on me back to back because I'm the only Black person in here because you can remember my name. Like, that's lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I'm so sorry. You were absolutely right. She didn't call on me for the rest of the semester.
Yeah, girl.
And I came out with a great grade that I probably didn't deserve.
But
I lost it because
Yeah.
I was just like you putting too much pressure on me.
Yeah.
And pick a name,
Pick
my
a
guy.
name.
Like
Just
Amy, Beth,
Hello,
Sarah,
listen.
Jane. Like,
Hello.
they're in here.
It's at least 3 paws. It's at least 3 paws. Okay.
Alex, Ryan, Sam,
Somebody.
Tim. They are in
But she
here.
would look there because you're memorable.
Yeah.
You know if I'm here, if I'm not here.
Mhm.
I tried to blend in by sitting in the middle, but honey, you're Black.
You stick out. Yeah, you're going to stick out.
The only
Jesus.
two.
Listen,
Yeah.
so they know when you're there.
Yep.
That's so
That is
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah. Oh, wow. But yeah, so what's next for Miss Milwaukee, Jada Davis? What is upcoming? What's next for you?
What's next? Well, in October, I'll be co-hosting the Healed Luxury Fashion Show.
Okay.
We got Cynthia Bailey coming in.
Yes, I saw
Oh,
that.
wow. Okay, I did see that
Shouts
too.
out, you know what? Shouts out to Cynthia Bailey for coming, and shouts out to Sherry Sherrill, who's
Oh,
on
yeah.
our podcast.
Yes.
Because she
Woohoo,
will
Sherry.
be her official
Hairstyle. Yeah, I saw
Yes.
that. I did see that. That's what's up. Yes.
We love
Shout out.
Sherry.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah, she's on our show
Big
type.
fan to her.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Other than that, school.
Listen, that's enough.
Right.
honey.
That is enough. School is
That is
enough. Do you
enough.
also work a job?
Yeah, I work a couple of days out of the week at a law firm.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So my summer job carrying over to the fall, and then I just got a new job. I'll be talking about it soon, but yeah, really
Okay.
excited. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on your new
Yes.
job.
Yes.
you.
Congrats. That is awesome.
Yes.
And
That
yeah.
is amazing. And for being able to be a part of that event. And I'm sure you've been able to meet a lot of great,
Mhm.
amazing
Yeah.
people.
That's what's really nice about this program too, is that I've had the networking opportunities are really great, and like just meeting people related to the legal field or entertainment in general. Met the mayor, I met Senator Tammy Baldwin.
Nice.
I spoke with our governor. He called me and I'm like,
Wow. Okay, Governor Evers called you on the line. I
yeah,
love
just
it.
cool stuff like that. Just networking is really cool. So I'm grateful for
Yeah.
that.
That
Absolutely.
is really cool. Wow. And
Being different paid off. That confidence
okay.
paid off. Okay. And
Listen.
you're going to need it when you enter law.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, you got the whole Rolodex going for you already. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
That's a whole different animal. Like the stigma attached to Black
Mm.
women in the legal field, and just constantly feeling like you have to prove yourself
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I have, some basis to go off of, but it's definitely that extra pressure with that too.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
That
so
is
cool.
certainly the story of your life. So how fitting that confidence is your
Yeah.
platform.
Yeah.
Did you know when you decided to declare confidence as your platform, did you already know what it was going to be, or did you actually have to like kind of reflect and think like, okay, what's true to me?
Mm.
Well, confidence, it just came to me. And I think that's probably subconsciously is something that I've always been working on and dealing with. So it kind of was just something that was like, go and make this a platform, since it already existed. But I didn't know how I wanted to articulate it and how to get it out to the people. So with your initiative, you had to have the ways that you're going to push it and how you're going to, like, your plan and how I want to run my workshops and things like that. So I wasn't sure about that kind of stuff, but I knew I had this general like I want to empower people to be more confident in themselves.
Yeah.
So just laying out the outline after that.
Yeah.
I
No,
love
that's
it.
amazing. And even the people that never went to your workshop and don't even know what your platform is, I think that you being the first Black, it's kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think even on social media, like I try to push that as well, especially on Miss Milwaukee's page, giving out some of those tips that I'll give in my workshops. Or I'm starting this thing pretty soon where I'll be like inviting people to do a little interview and talking about some of those things. So people that aren't coming to the workshops or don't have access to can also still get some of that same information.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is dope.
That is so amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, if Brunch with Besties can help in any way, definitely let us know, because that's awesome. So how are you? So I guess my last thing I would like to know is, how are you kind of capturing this moment in your life? Like, are you still journaling? Like, how are you going to 30 years from now, like, look back on this moment?
Yeah, I do a lot of video vlogs as well as journaling. I journal, I try to every Friday. I'll take, notes about what happened during this week and exciting things that I want to remember, so I can go back and read those. But I also do the videos too, because it's quicker and easier sometimes to just pop a camera on and just to be able to go back and watch those videos, make an album of everything related to Miss Milwaukee.
That is awesome.
So then when you have grandkids,
Yes.
right?
You see your grandma.
Okay. Look, first of all, grandma was bad, honey.
I
Grandma
love
made
it.
history.
Okay.
So that when
Literally,
when they have those moments where they feel like, man, I'm ugly or whatever, well, honey, you come from greatness. Like you come from beauty.
Wow.
So it is time for us to wrap up.
Yes.
So we are gonna do our to-go box. So I will start with you, Bestie.
All right.
What are you taking away from this episode?
This was really a great episode. I'm so glad you were able to come and join us and have this conversation. But it's so interesting that your platform is on confidence. Shout out to Lakeisha Jones Mansour and also the owner of Lynn's Creations Lemonade. She had a brunch and everybody had to pick a word, and my word was confidence. And just being more confident in myself, because even at 35, like sometimes I'm very insecure, or I have these thoughts and things. But she got me a candle that says confidence on it, and I love that candle, and it's almost empty, so I'm gonna have to take it to Bath and Body Works to get a new one. But yeah, so it's definitely like such an important thing, no matter how old you are, just confident building. So I that's what I'm taking away, like just continue on the path of being confident.
Yeah. What are you taking away?
I think you both reminded me that like my purpose is important and it inspires people no matter what age, and that I should keep doing what I'm doing. And no matter, where people are, how old they are, like you just mentioned, they can all be inspired. So
Indeed, for
Thank
sure.
you.
Yes, thank
They
you. Yes. All right,
Listen,
bestie.
yes, you have personally inspired me.
Yes.
So yes, even though I am old, child, I'm about to be like, now what pageant clears student loan debt? Okay, sign me up for that one.
Sign me up.
I can't dance, so that ain't gonna work. But
But you got some talents in there. I mean, you did do my hair, Miss Black and Gold. So.
that
was so black. I love that though.
Oh my god, that was the blackest thing.
That was black, but it was cracking. So let's go.
Listen,
I'm gonna be right there if you need me to be your motto. Okay.
But no, I think that this episode just really reminded me how much support we need from each other as far as women.
Yeah.
Like when we see each other out, like you need, like it doesn't cost much to be like, you look beautiful, sis. Loving that outfit, loving the hair, loving the, just something small. And to the little children.
Yeah.
When we see them, like just smiling at them, coming to their first day of school to cheer them in, to let them know like you matter. Like I'll take off work, I'll come. Ain't none of y'all my kids, but y'all are important. You are the future scholars.
I love it.
Because the world will give you a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And it is our responsibility to make sure that our children see the beauty in themselves, and part of that is us reflecting back at them. So it is our responsibility to make sure that we build each other up. It is our community, and people are so quick to call people ugly, even in jokes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you ugly, you okay. Half, you know how they say in every joke there's a partial truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so that joke is at someone's expense. So I think that we should remove those words from our vocabulary, and just, if you have nothing nice to say, listen, going back to kindergarten, don't say it at all.
Don't say nothing.
But no, I appreciate what you're doing. Like I said, I feel like even if people never come to a workshop, which I hope they do, but even for the people that will look at you from afar, I think that your platform radiates just from you being you. If they just see you dance, they're like, oh, she is confident.
Mm-hmm.
She's a phenomenal dancer. If they just see your picture and your sash, it's like, oh, hold on, let me Google.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's a Black Miss Milwaukee. Wow, especially in Milwaukee.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially here.
Yes.
I ain't gonna run down the stats, but y'all know what our city is facing. So I
Mhm.
think that it's very fitting that you hold this title. I think it's very fitting that it's happening right now, and I can't wait to see what comes from it. Like, I wonder, you probably never be able to quantify the impact that you have, but just know that it's there and it's big.
For sure.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
Yes.
So thanks for tuning in to Brunch with Besties. Until next time,
Heal. I remember it today. Heal.